Good morning, everyone. How you all doing today? Thought I'd come on today because we got a lot to talk about. Tomorrow is our primaries. We have a lot of people running that need to be asked questions. You need to ask all of these people questions. It's really important that we go and vote tomorrow. This is the time to ask these people before we go and give them our vote, before we go and allow them to represent us as a whole, as a tribe, for our best interests, not just theirs, our best interests. We have our running candidates. We have Alfred, Anthony, Ardina, Don, and Eddie, all running for president. Go ask these individuals questions. Go talk to them. People ask questions about money with Eddie. I'll be sharing posts pretty soon regarding some funds that Miss Aguilar shared. I'm sure these are some budget funds. These are from our actual school's budget. Letters regarding Mr. Martinez, his transactions with the school. Ask him. There's a letter here. It's signed by Miss Hostovich. Regarding this matter, it apparently already went before them. So go ask them. Ask him these questions. You have a right to ask all of them questions. We have a right to know. We have a right to know. We're not being rude bullies. We're not causing problems. We have a right to know. I don't understand where it ever came that this is such a big secret. We have no business asking these questions. I have no idea when that came along. None. But go ask Dawn. She's on that letter. Ask about these funds, these things that our school board, I guess, has failed to notice. I mean, there's so much going on at that school as well that needs to be addressed. So just look into all of this. One thing just opens up another. I mean, they're talking about Eddie doing all this, and I've asked this, and nobody has answered these questions. Not any of these elected people, not any of them rerunning, I should say, have answered these questions. These previous council people who were council people and now are running again, go ask them the same questions. Go ask them. It is so important right now that we know what's going on. There's no reason for them to hide all of this. None. We ask simple questions, and man, I have paid to the fullest with this. Just for speaking up, just for asking questions about what we have a right to know. I was incarcerated. I was put in a mental facility. I was given drugs that I did not need. So I can understand how some of you don't want to ask. But right now, they're asking you for your vote. So go ask them these same questions. They should answer you with no problem. It shouldn't be an issue for any of them. Any of them. So in a little bit, I'll be sharing Mr. Martinez's information on his payment, I guess, from the school that the school board missed. Let's look at the school board. All this nepotism. Ask them that. Ask them how we'll address all the nepotism. How will that be addressed? All these people running. Ask them. Vice President Pamela, Elta, Bernalyn, Larry, Marilee. This morning I woke up and I was on for a little bit looking through it, and I noticed that Elta had made a post to me. I wanted to reply. I didn't have time then because, my kids are getting ready for school. And I appreciate her replying. And I hope you understand, Miss Branham, that I have no comfort in going to any of these directors and talking with any of them. I'm sure none of them would like to speak live, because these aren't just my questions, these are everybody's questions. So I would like to do that with all these directors, but I'm sure I won't be met with the same welcome as you. But I appreciate you answering. I just don't know where your post went. She talks about she does help everybody. She does know her codes, and she had a lot of support on her little post. Don't take it down. It is your right to speak up, to say what you feel, to say what you believe. I don't understand. But go talk to these people. We talked back and forth, Alta and I, about our disagreements. She didn't deny any. She didn't hide from any of the questions. She answered them. I don't know why she removed her post. Miss Morgan, Pamela Morgan, is running for vice president. Go talk with her. She has previously been on council. She was a judge. I don't know if she still is, but go ask her questions. Go talk to her about what she's done in the past, what she's going to do for us now. Now, that's the big question, is what is going to happen now? From what's going to change? What are they going to help with? Bernalyn Villa, Larry Bruce Willis, Marilee Signs. Go talk to these people. Remember, right now we have a current council in place. They all sat with their judge, and plotted against me to put me away, to take care of me, because I was such a threat to the Cervantes family, the Aguilar family, to the Frizzell family, to everybody, I guess. I've posted the letter before. Ask them how that was okay to sit there and allow that conversation to even take place, and to allow that lady to even overhear any of my cases, to even stay on our reservation with so much hate in her heart for our people. Ask them how this is allowed. You have, let's see, council, running for council, Sean Youngman, Dorlin, Robert Rice, Fernando Rocha, Garia Hidley, Ira Sego, Sandra, Owen, Jeremy, Tammy Torres, Stephanie, Randall Bell, Jacob, Marilee Garley, Blaylock, and Idella Starr. Go talk to these individuals. It shouldn't be an issue. They should be willing to talk to you. Ask them questions. You need to ask them things like, do you know our Constitution, our codes? Do you understand them? Can you apply them to our everyday lives in a safe manner, in a financial manner, in the best financial manner? How are you going to change all of this that's going on right now? Ask these people. We have upper management that needs to be looked into. How will they handle that? How will that be handled? Because we have so many managers that should not be managers, you all. Y'all know, like, maybe some of them shouldn't be, but there's others that could be. I don't agree with their pay. I don't understand why management makes so much money and does so little. So little. So what will be done about that? If you're going to pay these managers these ridiculous amounts, then let's get some actual work out of them. You all have departments you oversee. How are you all going to address this? How are you going to address these managers that are just abusing their power for years, and there is proof. You go to that HR, you look in their files, there is proof. I've actually posted some of the proof here. How will that change? How will you all address these issues? Ask these people running all of this, because the current council right now does nothing about this, and half of the current council is running, almost all of them. How will this change? How are they going to communicate with us? Be transparent. Stop hiding. Ask them. How is any of this going to change? What are they going to do for our housing issue? We have veterans, elders, children that are homeless. How are we going to address our homeless issue? I don't understand how we have gone so many years without any new homes. How do we not fix this? How is this not our priority? How can you go home every day to your warm home with your roof over you? How? When you have so many tribal members that don't have a home. And then you're evicting tribal members, but you're allowing non-tribal members to keep tribal homes. How will that be addressed? How are we going to fix that? Because that's not right. Take care of your people. Not yourself, not your friends, your family, your people. How are you going to help with our energy, our solar planning, anything to help us with our bills? We pay that light company so much money. So much money. How is that happening? Mr. Blazer, somebody ask him that. All of you running, how will that be addressed? Because man, we pay insane just to have lights over there. Our Wi-Fi and our phone, anything. How are we going to have any kind of programs to assist with any of that? And yes, it is our right. It is our right. If we have the capability to go put up all these cameras all over the reservation and connect them to that crazy unqualified person's little camera area there, how do we not have the ability to help our people with their solar, with their lights, with their propane? All of this. What year do we live in? What year do we live in that none of this has been addressed? We have an employee to address this, but we don't have any of these issues addressed. And if we do, we don't have any updates regarding this. Nobody tells us anything. Nobody tells us anything. Everything is such a big secret. Everything is hidden. Why? What are you all hiding? There are so many people that you need to ask questions before you give them your vote. Go talk to these new people running. We have Sean, Robert, Gary, Owen, Jeremy, Stephanie, Randall, Jacob. Go talk to them. Go talk to them. See what they have planned. What do they want to do? Let's get some new minds in there. Let's really get these wheels turning, because they're not turning now. They're not turning, and if they are, they're not turning for everybody. I shared a podcast a while back for Mr. Bruinger. I asked questions about a lot of money, millions of dollars that we have gotten. Never answered. I shared another podcast for Mrs. Orozco, who's now running for president. She had great plans, great ideas while running. But once in office, I don't know what happened. And I keep being told, you don't know what happens behind closed doors. You don't know how it works. No, we don't. Everything is kept a secret. I'm not sure why, but everything is kept a secret. So how will these new councilmen this new vice president, the new president, how will they keep us included and updated? How are they going to get all this secrecy out of there? We have such a huge drug problem. How will you all address the drugs? I mean, man, you put us away for a roach of marijuana, a flower, a plant. But we have our people literally sinking away. You look at our babies' faces, and all our babies, all these children on our reservation should be considered our babies. We should be taking care of them. They should be up there. The elderly, our babies, we need to take care of them, but we're just letting this all come. We're just letting it all come to our reservation so easily. Taking our babies so easily. I see these young children that are so beautiful, so handsome, shrinking away from an ugly, ugly drug that is being passed around like candy in our casinos, in their parking lots. What will be done about that? How are we going to get a control over that? Ask these people running, because we need to know before it's too late. Man, they look horrible. Some of our babies are just so scary to look at. Heartbreaking. It breaks your heart to see them like this. How are we going to fix that issue? It's here. It's not gone. It hasn't left. It is here. Half of you running, deal with it. You see it in your own home, within your own family. How do you not want to fight? Fight with everything to save them. I would like to know that personally, how you do not want to fight to save your child. We're just going to keep letting it come in, allowing it to be passed around in our casinos. Man, these casinos don't give us anything. Anything. Our jail, our treatment, what are we going to do about that? We're just going to keep sending our people to that jail. All of you running, are you going to go to that jail and see for yourself the conditions over there so you can push for our jail? Whoever you need to push for it with, OJS, the tribe, whoever it is, are you going to go over and go stay there just like a prisoner would for one morning, and tell me that you feel okay with sending our people there for these ridiculous violations to our rights? And yes, I am sure that almost all those people, more than half of them, are there probably for violating their own rights. You all are probably holding them against their own rights. How will that be addressed? How will our courts be addressed? We have these crazy judges coming in. They just bring in these hateful, uneducated judges to use for their own benefit. How will that be addressed? How are we going to fix that court? You know, we have Rory Chino and Ivan Scott tried to serve my father at my other house, you know, the one my husband's banished from, where we do not reside. My father has made it very clear to Mr. Scott that I do not reside there, and he does not want anybody from the court or anyone going to that house. That is for his grandchildren. But Mr. Scott still went and tried to serve my father. He ran from my father and threw the papers as he ran, and my father threw them back into the car to Mr. Chino, and Mr. Chino threw my papers out to the sidewalk. How are we going to address these courts? Our court and their unqualified staff. I've never seen any process server do the things they've been doing. I don't know why Mr. Scott is there. I remember being served and working with Wynette. I don't know where she went, but y'all should bring her back because she served people. She didn't just go throw papers at them, running from them. I don't ever remember hearing her running from anybody. She actually went up, whether you liked her or not, or whether you liked what you were receiving. She didn't care. She went up and served you. She did her job. She knew what she was doing. But these two crazy people are just throwing documents. They were probably my documents, just throwing them at my dad in the yard on the sidewalk. Are you crazy? That's not how you run a court. So what will you all do to help address our courts? Sending our people to that jail. How are we going to get our jail here? Because we've been waiting a really long time. A really long time. Do we still have the funding for that? Is that the problem? I mean, there's so many questions we just have no answers to. There's just too much secrecy, too much they're hiding. So you new candidates, how are you going to help with this? I would really like to know. Our programs we lost to 638, the ones we're fixing to lose to 638. You know, we have employees that have been with these government jobs for years. They have their own insurance, their own everything. They're qualified, their own trainings. They've gone through everything. They are qualified to be in those positions. But we're going to take over them and put who? And then train them? That's what's wrong, is we keep taking out these qualified people and putting in unqualified people, and oh, we'll train them. Why? Why are we wasting that money? If they're not qualified for that position, don't put them there if there's already someone doing it and they're not failing. I don't understand why. Our social service program, what's going on with that? How are you all going to address that? Because these are our babies. These are our babies that we're losing, we're just sending off. How are we going to address that? Fernando will be running again, or is running. Ask him how he wants to address all of the abuse of power. How would he like to address the abuse of power? Ask him if he knows and understands our Constitution, our tribal codes, and how it works when you get a DUI and you're able to just, I don't know what even happened with that, but you're going to run again. So ask that. Ask. Dorlin's finally asking for our votes. Let's see if she gets them. We really don't, that's just another issue. But let's see. Let's see if Dorlin can answer her questions about money. Her spending fees, her little adventure. She'll just go in, walk in whenever she wants and just purchase whatever she wants and put it on for sale. How many times do you do that? You were not voted in, you were put in, and then you're going to go and just shop around with your little baby and get this and that. Where did that go? Who paid for that? Ask these questions. Ask these questions. You have a right to know. Ask how she got her seat right now. I truly have no idea how she got her seat right now. Not justifiably, anyway. Miss Torres is running again. She's been a previous council member. Ask her how she plans to address all of this. Ask her if she's going to address how. Ask her if she understands our codes, our constitution. Ask her. And tell her to remain calm and not to lose her temper when speaking. But you have a right to ask her. Ask all of them if they understand these. Ira and Sandra have also been councilmen before. Ask them what they're going to do different. How all these people that have ran before, what they're going to do different for us. How they're going to help fix all of these things. These things that not just myself, that everybody wants to know. I post people's questions, comments, statements, and I haven't heard from any directors, any council members. I can't say any directors. I have heard. Alta did reply this morning. I don't know where it went, but she did reply. I know there was another director that replied. But why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just answer these questions? I don't understand how you're not going to answer questions when we elected you all there. And then now you all are asking for votes again. So we need to know what you're going to do different, how you're going to change things. Go ask these people. Garely is running again. I've already stressed to you all how I felt about that. You know, I used to think, you know, you have daughters. You start thinking early about planning everything, and then you have no idea my thoughts of the whole family as a whole. Like, I have huge respect for that family. They were way up there. Like, Garely was way up there for me. I had a lot of respect for her. And then it just, like, sitting there listening to Gabe talk about how mean and heartless she was with the whole process of kicking a mother off with her children, just really just blew me out of the water. I could not. It took me a minute because I really had a lot of respect for that lady up until then. A lot. But ask her how she feels about that. How being a medicine woman and being a councilwoman intertwine, how she works through that. Mrs. Orozco does it. So ask these questions, because there's so many of them that are running, that have previously been in there, that need to be asked questions on how they're going to change for our tribe, how they're going to change all of this and have a good heart doing it. Ask them. Idela's been in council before. Ask her. Ask these questions, you all. Ask these questions. There's serious allegations of money, of inappropriate behavior. We have, like, the craziest people even thinking they could run for president. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with them running. Mr. La Paz, I don't agree with Mr. La Paz running for president. You all know why. I've stated it. I have stated it. We have allowed just too much with this person. I'm sorry. My views of this person have also changed. it's like you just you sit there and listen to these people every day for so many years, and yes, because they're family, you listen a little more, and you're like, oh yes, yes, you want to think, well, yeah, I guess so. And then boom, you're just hit with all this stuff, and it's like, man, I really should have looked at all this. I shouldn't have just ignored it because of family, friends, or I don't want to make somebody upset or whatever. No, we can't be doing that no more. We can't be letting this type of behavior, this abuse of power go on. Mr. La Paz has things that he has not cared to address. He sits on the current council right now, and we allow people on our management positions, I guess, on our higher levels, to do so much wrong. But it's because they lead by example. Mrs. Orozco, I really just lost. I mean, go talk to them. These are just my opinions. Just my own reading, my own talking with other people. Go talk to them yourself. Ask them. Ask them these questions. Ask Mrs. Orozco what happened to her vision when she did her podcast. She spoke of great things. Where did that all go? Because just ask them. Eddie, ask them. Ask them how they all sat and plotted to violate my rights. That is really big. Ask them how they're going to allow their own council people, their own council members, to have DUIs current and not do anything about it, but also allow them to rerun. I just don't get that. And if I'm wrong, then let us know. How are you going to start letting us know? How are you going to start communicating with us? Because we don't have any trust in our leaders right now. Any. And for some odd reason, you all feel that it's not our right to ask these questions, to want to know. But it is. This is a lot of money that you all are mismanaging. Yes, mismanaging. Paying these directors, for one, is a huge mismanagement. You have our emergency manager. That's ridiculous. Our general counsel. Are these people doing their jobs? How are you all that are running going to address this? Address all these higher ups that are not doing their jobs. Frizzell. How are you all going to address Frizzell? Both of them. We got old man Frizzell over there. We're just giving him a vehicle. I want to say we gave him a newer one. Insuring him, everything. How are we going to address this? His son running our entities, running our biggest entities. And he shouldn't be. He should not be. How do we have somebody that is requesting an expungement for their felonies running our entities? That's a good question for them. How is it that we have a felon running our entity, and then you have to have a gaming license just to work there? How did he get a gaming license? Ask these questions. Ask. Mr. Kurgan. Oh my goodness, why? Why do we have Mr. Kurgan? Amber Luna. I'm told, let's just take him out and put her in there because she runs everything, I'm told. I have so much on Miss Luna, good and bad, so it's kind of like confusing here, but if she's the one doing all of Kurgan's work, why do we have him? And she's covering for his expenses, covering for him. How long are we going to allow these managers to abuse their power and then pay them top dollar to do it? What will you new people do to address that? Lucas, Francis, our daycare's pretty big and nobody bothered to address that. Whether these people are saying crazy things, whatever it is, you all still should address it. These are our children. These are our children. We are paying you all to take care of them, and we are trusting you all that you will. And then you have these things come up, and none of you addressed it for any of our children. Conservation. Are you all certified, commissioned yet? Are you all driving with DUIs, recent DUIs? Who will look into conservation? Are you all going to address that? That we're allowing these officers, these conservation officers that are not certified and commissioned to be driving. They shouldn't even leave the office, let alone have a weapon. And then we have the recent DUIs, and we're just going to allow them to continue to work. But we're going to be throwing other people in for it and putting them in jail and on probation and having them pay this and that, ankle monitors, whatever, the whole 9 yards. But these people know. How is that fair? How is that fair to all of us? That's the big picture, is including all of us. All of us, not just yourself, but all of us. Speaking to us, communicating, it's a matter of just plain respect. Why would we not have a right to know about our funds, about our entities, about what's going on? Why would we not have a right to know? So all of you running, ask them these questions. Go talk to these newer ones that haven't been in there, or maybe haven't been in there long. You got Anthony, Ardina, Dawn. Eddie's kind of new, but I mean, go talk to them. You have a right to ask them. Ask them what their plans are. How are we going to move forward and change all of this to help our people, to better our people? You have managers in positions that they shouldn't be managers there. Maybe they're management material, but not for that department. Move them around. Look at your departments. Stop leaving people or putting people there because they're your friends, or that you don't want to hurt them or upset them, or they're mad. We got to give them a job. No. Look at their qualifications. Look at their backgrounds. Look at everything. Not just who you know. We got Terry Lee, Chris Little, Mr. Lathan. Mr. Lathan just really blows me out of the mind. It just like blows me up. Just how is this crazy person with this huge past being paid top dollar to just sit there and drink? Do you all, because I know at the ski area, if they feel that you are under the influence, they will go give you a breathalyzer. Do you all do that for the tribe? Because you should. You should. You really need to start checking that. So how are you all that are running? going to address that, because we have a lot of people that drive around these big, nice tribal work vehicles drinking on the clock. So you all should really check that. That's a huge violation to our funds. Thora came up. Did she go before the council and ask to take over some new programs? And if so, then what are her plans? What are the plans for these programs, period? How will you all update us on these programs? If these people are, and these big changes are going to happen, then tell us. Justify why these crazy changes are happening. You all have a right to know. So ask these people running, ask them questions. They really need to understand our Constitution. They really need to understand our tribal codes, how to implement them into our everyday lives, how to use them to better our lives. They should be looking at these things every day. How are we going to better our reservation? Better for our people. Better. Just making it better. But we have an inn that is... Do we got sewer on some of these levels, or water flooding or something? Fourth floor, third floor, something. Are we working our employees in these conditions? I mean, we have lost so many. We really need to start taking better care of our people. All of our people. So Alfred, Anthony, Ardina, Dawn and Eddie, Pamela, Alta, Bernalyn, Larry, Marilee, and all of you running for council. Tomorrow, talk to your people. When they ask what you're going to do for our future, for our programs, for whatever, answer their questions. Don't be all Eddie and ask for their votes, but not answer their questions. It's our right. You all have put in or taken the term Eddie to a whole new level. You're just Eddie in that council room. You're just Eddie with those council checks. You're just Eddie with all your secrets and not informing your people. Talk to your people. You spoke to them for a vote. Why would you stop? If they're going to set up all this technology to update us about COVID when we could go and look at it ourselves, why not do that to inform us? Yes, General Counsel and Wheeler's salaries together are millions of dollars or more. Now add up all of these directors at IMG, the elected officials, the tribal directors' salaries. You all really need to start earning that. Like, that's a lot of money. No wonder we have nothing left. You all are taking it without giving back even a simple communication. We are paying you thousands of dollars. Literally. But you are upset when we ask questions. That's not how it is supposed to be. So you new ones running, I really hope y'all have some good plans and some good intentions for our tribe. Because you're like my only hope, is all you new people running. I have no idea. what to even think for the president, and the vice president isn't as scary as the president. I only have two, I guess I could try and hope for. But again, these are the people that violated my rights, so it's really hard for me. It's really hard for me to understand how any of these people could sit there and ask for a vote. So ask these people what we're going to do about all of these issues. Because they're not just little issues. These are big issues that need to be addressed, need to be changed, need to be looked into. Something. Our Constitution, our codes, you all need to understand them so that you can implement them the correct way for your people. Not for yourself, for your people. Remember that. Remember those that have viciously violated people's rights, and ask them about that. Because that's huge. That's huge. My comments a lot on my posts, my videos are, why don't these people say themselves? Why don't they come to me themselves? Next time they can come. No, they won't. You really don't get it. Like, you have no clue what speaking up will get you. The retaliation that comes with it is insane, and it shouldn't. It's our right to speak up, to talk, to ask. We should not fear retaliation. We should not fear retaliation. But you all would not believe how many people fear retaliation from their own leaders. That has to change. We have to look at these people. We got to go talk to them, see what their hearts are, where their hearts are. You have a lot of people calling me a hate group. I guess you could say that, because I do hate all this corruption. I hate seeing my people suffer while others just continue to do things wrong and nothing happens. So yes, I guess you could call me that. Because I hate that it's not equal for all of our people. We have restraining orders being abused and violated every single day by one of our biggest directors. So you all need to start asking what they're going to do about these directors. There's just no need for all of this. We got Mr. Little over here souping up his truck, and he don't even do anything. I don't even know if he's qualified. He hasn't bothered to answer. Mr. Lathan. Wow, we're literally just doing the same thing with Mr. Lathan that we do with Mr. Frizzell, Mr. Kurgan, with all of these upper heads at the end abusing their power. So tomorrow you all go and talk to these people running. Ask how they'll fix our housing. When we're going to get our people off of the streets of Tularosa, Alamogordo, the hills of Ruidoso. I've heard some crazy stories about digging holes, and you put your cardboard in there, and then you put your cardboard on top of you, and that's how you sleep at night, and that's how you stay warm. And what about when it snows? You just dig your hole a little deeper. How are we going to pay these people these ridiculous salaries? to not do their jobs, to abuse their power, to violate our laws, but we're going to allow our children, our elders, our veterans to be homeless? Ask how we'll fix that. Ask how we'll fix our energy problem. Why we're paying the light bill, like, why are we paying Otero so much? Just why? Why? How are they going to help with that? We have technology, we have cameras set up all over the reservation because we have a firebug. Back in the day, we had a firebug then. Same one, I'm willing to bet. With his new little puppy following him around. Where's the cameras when these fires start? Don't we have cameras in all these places? Why are we not catching them? Who operates the cameras? Y'all need to look into that, because they're burning up our reservation and they're getting away with it. They have all this technology and all these cameras everywhere. Why are they not using them to see who's going over there, who started those fires? Man, you all need to look at these directors. Our drugs, man, look at these. Look at our drugs, our drug issue. Half you people right here running should want to fight that drug issue with everything inside you. Every bit of you should want to fight to get those drugs off of our reservation. We have alcohol killing our people left and right, and man, we sell it everywhere. Everywhere. You're going to throw them in jail when they have any alcohol charges, but you're not going to get them any real treatment. How is that right? Ask these people how they're going to address that, because we're losing our people. This is so dangerous to be playing with, to be taken lightly. We're losing our babies. Whether it's to a drug from the street or to alcohol, we're losing them, and we're just providing it so easily for them. And they're starting at such a young age. Do you realize how old our babies are now that they're messing with all this crazy stuff? What are we going to do for our youth to get them back? To get them away from that? To keep them away from that? Because they're not born like that. We got them, and at some point, somewhere along the lines of, I'd say maybe middle school, we're starting to lose our babies. Middle to early high school, we're starting to lose our babies. That is scary. That is so scary. So how are we going to address that? How are we going to save our babies? How? What are we going to give our youth? Because our community don't really do much for our youth. Daily, where do they go? What do they go to? Look into the school. What are we feeding them? We need to make sure we're feeding them good. I know that's not happening. Our 638 programs, we can't have people like Montoya and Mr. Torres running our forest agencies. Mr. Torres don't even want to leave his home. He might get dirty. He might get COVID. Who knows his reasoning? But he gets to work 100% from home. I don't understand that. Mr. Montoya, we don't need him running it either. These are just people's suggestions or questions. Maybe is this who they're wanting to put? Montoya can't even get a red card. He can't even pass his... No, I don't even know why he's there now. so we can support his habit. He just gives it right back to the inn, to the bars, to the tables. I mean, why are we supporting this? Because he gives it right back. All this needs to be looked into. We have too much management that does not need to be there. Too much interference with other departments that we should not be interfering with. So how will all this be addressed? You all go out tomorrow, talk to your tribal members running, see what they have to say. Go talk to these new ones. You got Sean and Robert and Gary, Owen, Jeremy, Stephanie, Randall, Jacob. Go talk to them. Ask them questions. Ask them if they know our Constitution, our codes. I'm sure they'll be willing to talk with you. I can't imagine any of them not willing to. And then go talk to these ones that are currently in office or have previously been in office. You know, our Constitution and our codes are really big. All of these things that I have brought up, these highlights, these are really big things that need to be addressed. Talk to them. See where their heart is, because that's big. You have to have a good heart to lead your people. I don't know how to stress that more. I mean, you can't take care of your own children. I don't understand how you're expected to take care of a whole reservation. That's what's wrong with our tribe now. Our leaders now, look at all of this felonies, all of these activities going on. I don't even understand. So please, tomorrow, it's so important that you all go and talk with these people. Talk with these people. Listen to their words, their heart, and go in and vote. And then come out and eat. And whatever stand you want, don't vote based on what you eat. Y'all have a good day. Please, please look into this. Ask these questions. Talk to them. Go reach out and talk to these people. Y'all have a very blessed day. Stay Apache strong. Be proud. We really, really need to be proud. Go vote.